Welcome to Football Unspoken. Today we're going to be talking about Alexander Arnold because I'm of the opinion if he's going to Real Madrid, he shouldn't be playing for Liverpool for the rest of the season. Rob, what's your opinion?
Oh no, that's unacceptable. He's under a beyond everything else, he's under a contract, and I just don't understand what the reasoning would be. I'm sure there's blokes who agree with you, but I don't understand the reasoning behind. It's just why would anyone ever go on loan then?
My reasoning for it is Liverpool the title's won. Even without Arnold, he's injured at the moment, by the way, so he probably wouldn't play the next couple of games. But Liverpool are winning the title with or without Arnold anyway, so they don't need him for title anymore. If he's saying, you know what, you guys can get done, I'm burning off to Real Madrid on a free, then okay, cool, mate, no problem. But you're not playing again for the club. We're actually going to release you or pay you the rest of your contract. We release you now. You go off to Real Madrid. You don't get your Premier League trophy. Go off to Madrid now. No trophy, no nothing. Thanks for your time. But because you want to leave now, you could, because you know what he could do? Arnold could sign a new 1 year extension with a 20 million release clause, and Madrid can pay 20 million, so at least Liverpool can get something out of it. He's whittled down his contract, refused to sign a new one, and then just burned off on a free. And that's not something that happened on a whim. That's quite a calculated tactical thing he's done there, which he's done Liverpool poorly by doing that.
But at the same time, Liverpool have been a complete sausage in this behavior because why would you allow Trent Alexander-Arnold to get into his last year of contract? Like that is a stupid decision. Surely you go right. We've got 24 months here. We spend the next 12 months getting him signed, and if he doesn't want to sign, then we sell him. Like I don't understand this. I sort of understand it in the fact that he's a Liverpool lad and like he came up through the academy and he owes Liverpool a lot. But I just don't understand this like vitriol towards him where it's like, oh well, he's done Liverpool, he's done Liverpool. No, Liverpool could have at any point in the last over the last 2 years opened serious negotiations and then gone forward rather than wait to because they've done the exact same thing with Van Dijk and with Mo Salah. They haven't properly gone from last year going, we're going to have real conversations. What exactly do you want? What do we need to do to get you to sign on and all that? And then go, okay, this is what you want is entirely ridiculous. We're not going to find it. We're not going to find a middle ground. You can go then and get someone to buy him. And because that's the thing, you can very easily, I understand that maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold specifically wants to go to Madrid, but I'm sitting there going, if Liverpool last season had gone, right, this is the contract, yes or no, and Trent Alexander went, okay, no, and then Liverpool went, right, well, we're going to sell you, and then Trent went, well, I'm not going to be sold, I'm going to go on free. Cool. Then you're a bit of an asshole.
It just feels like I hear what you're saying. Liverpool in a tough position because Jurgen Klopp was leaving and Slot was coming in. So I think that's disrupted the whole contract renewal. Now that's why you meant to have a director of football, right? So that you have that continuity regardless of the manager for the best interest of the club and the future of the club. From the outside, it seemed like it wasn't a money issue. And Trent re-signing wasn't just because Real Madrid were going to give him more money. It almost seemed like he just wanted to go to Real Madrid, not in a selfish way, but it's one of the biggest clubs in the world. And I've won a Premier League, I've won a Champions League with Liverpool. What can I win in Spain? And almost to be a more well-rounded career, you want to try play football in another country. As well as there's this thing about, like English players don't at a big six club don't generally go to another big six club. It's unusual where they happily go to a Spanish club, etc. We'll talk about that probably in a separate podcast. But just for now, it seems to me that Arnold, like I said earlier, intentionally ran down that contract. And Liverpool, I'm guessing, they were just hoping to keep pushing the button, or the envelope. Eventually, he was going to sign. And by the time they've probably realized he's not going to sign, it's too late. They were going to get so little money from him. They were almost better off keeping him for one more season and winning a Premier League because he's there to help them win the trophy rather than get 30 million for him because that's doing nothing.
The yo-yo club leaving has absolutely zero impact as to whether or not you want to keep one of the best right backs in the world in your club. So that first doesn't make sense if that's part of the reasoning. But then on the other side of it, I still sit there and I go, okay, but your initial suggestion was, oh, why don't we give him a 1 year extension with a £20 million release clause? What does that do for you that the £20 million didn't do for you this season? Like that's the situation. I just don't. It feels a bit like a no-win situation that Trent Alexander-Arnold's found himself in, because either he gets to go for a transfer fee and it looks like he's pushed himself out of the club, or he looks like he's pushed for the move, or he lets Liverpool try and make a sensible offer, and probably guys, actually Real Madrid have got a better offer and it's a more interesting experience for me, so I'm gonna go do that. And he still looks like he's trying to force himself out of the club.
Yeah, so going back to the 20 million thing, I guess the point was he stays for this season, helps them win a Premier League, and then on top of helping them win a Premier League, they get the 20 million. Where kind of the offer was positioned in like either you take 20 to 30 million at the start of the season, then you don't have Arnold to help you win a trophy this year, which brings in funds, or you let him go for a free at the end of the year. So I guess the point is he's with if he does the 1 year extension 20 million, they get to win the trophy with him plus get 20 million at the end of it. So it's kind of like it's not the full win-win scenario, but it's closer to a win-win. And since Alexander, as you mentioned earlier, has come to the youth academy, I feel harsh saying he owes them because in the way of the I just mentioned, he's helped them win those Premier League trophies, meaning that he's done his part. He's definitely on a performance level, on a trophy level, he's done his part for Liverpool. I just feel like it costs Arnold nothing to quickly sign that. If Real Madrid value Arnold as a player, surely they pay 20 million for him plus the contract they're offering now, if they value him as a player at all.
I mean, yeah, but where's the benefit for Real Madrid in that situation? They have to pay him the same contract that they were going to offer him, and now add 20 million on top of that. Like, why would Real Madrid go and do that? And then you're looking at a situation where uh, Trent is put into a situation where his career, unfortunately, is now put back under jeopardy, because it's now a contract extension where Madrid could go, sick, we'll pay the 20 million, or they could just go, we can wait another year, sod it, and just wait Liverpool out again.
You did make me laugh when you were saying if Madrid go, we'll just wait you out again. And then every year for the next 5 years, it's just a cat and mouse. Well, Trent just signed 1 more year. And the blood never ends up going because they keep signing 1 more year and Real Madrid keep waiting every year.
The Liverpool manager glitch.
Exactly, some football manager glitch. I should have put that in where you can, in a conversation, ask the guy, stay 1 more season, I'll let you go. Because I don't think that's in the game currently. But anyway, back onto topic. You do make a good point about you could end up in a scenario like that where it just goes in circles. I guess and I'm obviously an Arsenal fan, so I don't really, if anything, I'm chuffed that Arnold's going for nothing. Liverpool going to struggle to replace him. They're probably going to play concert right back next year, and they could invest in a new right back, but that's going to cost them a lot of their transfer budget going into next season. Typically, with FFP being a thing, they don't have that much money to spend, and they've got nothing back on an FFP level for Arnold leaving. So that's as a neutral fan, I see it as a real positive. I guess I was just trying to look at it as a neutral, and you feel pretty hard done by as a Liverpool fan, I guess, at the end of the day. Rather than I hear what you're saying about the management should have done better, but as a fan, you feel let down.
I get that. I understand that fans will often feel let down by players, but I sit there and I also go, realistically, the bloke's won by the end of this season. He's won 2 Premier Leagues for Liverpool. Was a major part of the team that won a Champions League as well. He's pretty much done everything he can do, and I don't understand why you would begrudge him the opportunity to go play for the most significant team in the world. Like it's Real Madrid are one of, if not the most significant team in the world, especially when it comes to European football, when it comes to like the commodification of football kind of came through when the initial Galacticos came through. So they have such a big footprint in global football that there's any player in the world would want to go. I would be very surprised if you could find any player who wouldn't go for 2 seasons, because that's the other thing. You're sitting there with Trent as if he's signed his life away. He could very easily sign a 3-year contract, then come back to Liverpool when he's 25, 26 now. Come back just before he turns 30, still in his prime. There's absolutely, I think it just feels like It feels like a hard breakup. That's what it is. When your mate is going through an awful breakup and it just starts going, she was the worst girl on the face of the planet. She was such a like it was the worst experience of my entire life. You're sitting there going like, well, three weeks ago you loved her, so what are you talking about? Like that's what it feels like. It's just a massive overreaction. And you're allowed to be emotional. I've got no problem with that. But I think to be putting this 100% on Trent and acting like he's a traitor to the club is really not smart when you've got a management team and a board of directors who could have dealt with this situation a year ago.
So there you have it, guys. Apparently, Rob's analysis of the situation is that Josh is not smart at football. That's the analysis. I'm obviously just being tongue in cheek, but we'll leave the conversation there because I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold should be allowed to play for Liverpool again this season, or should they just cut their losses here, allow him to move over to Real Madrid early, or is that a bit too much of an emotional response? Would love to hear your comments below. And until next time, this has been Football Unspoken. Cheers.